Okay. Miss. Miss means incorrect with hatred. Okay, so miss, incorrectly. Okay, so for example, we have misplaced. Misplaced. Okay, so in other words, incorrectly placed. You're like, where's my keys? Where's my phone? Okay, misplaced. Okay, misplaced. So I don't know where it is. That is what misplaced means. Okay, so miss. It's not in its proper place. Miss. Okay, so misplaced. Okay, another misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. So what a misunderstanding is that when something happens and you don't quite understand, or you understand something incorrectly. Okay, misunderstanding. Okay, by. By means to. Okay, by means to. Okay, so bicycle. Bicycle. Okay, cycle is something that goes round. Okay, that's why we have the word recycle. Okay, goes round. Recycle. So bicycle. So two cycles. Okay, bicycle. All right. Uni means one. That's why it's unicycle. Unicycle. It's a one wheel bike. Okay, unicycle. And then you have a three-leg bike or three-wheel bike called tricycle. Okay, tricycle. So uni, bi, tri. Uni, bi, tri. Okay, this here is a suffix called us. So it means have qualities of. Having qualities of. Having qualities of. So for example, famous. Famous. Will Smith is a famous actor. Van Diesel is a famous actor. Okay? So full of, or has the quality of being fame, of fame. Alright, so someone who everyone knows has this quality. Okay? So famous. Okay, able, which means can be. Okay, can be. Like I am able to do this. When we add this to a word, it makes it like comfortable. Comfortable. So you're able to become, you're able to find comfort. Comfort is when you just, feels good. Okay, and you just comfort. So comfortable. Okay. In means made of. Made of. So for example, golden. Golden. Okay, so a golden car. A car made of gold. Or made of a golden color. Okay? So made of golden. Alright? So I have a golden necklace. Okay. Iffy or if I, to cause to become. So to cause to become, what this here means, let's look at the word for example. So modify. Okay? Modify means to change. Alright? Modify means to change. Alright, so you cause it to become something else. Okay? To cause it to become something else. So modify. Okay, mint. A state of being or act of. For example, improvement. Improvement. So this is a state of becoming better. Okay? So anything that gets better, improvement, development. Okay? Improvement, development. Okay? All right. Now let's read this conversation, okay, and we'll answer some questions. Did you see Miles last night? Yep. He was wearing some weird costume. A long scarlet coat with white gloves. It looked nice, but also heavy and very hot. Do you know why he was wearing it? I think he was wearing it to show off. That's doubtful. Why? I heard Mike and he told me Miles was wearing it for a costume party. Okay? Now, why are they talking about Miles? And for what reason might people dress up? And for what people might people dress up? Okay. So, if we look here, we see that they were asking about their friend, Miles, okay? And they asked about him. Why? Because they saw him wearing some weird clothes. Some weird clothes, okay? So they said, all right, so they said that he was wearing very, very heavy and hot clothing. Very heavy and hot clothing. All right? Now, here's the thing. Why do people dress up? Remember we said to get dressed is one thing, but to get dressed up, that's something special. To get dressed up is something special. Okay? So to get dressed up is something special. So he got dressed up because there was a costume party. So you get dressed up for weddings, dressed up for interviews, you get dressed up for any special occasion. Right? That's how you get dressed up. Other than that, you are dressed. Okay? You get dressed up for special occasions. Okay? All right. Now, using past modals for speculating. Okay. So speculating with more certainty. Okay? So now, when we talked about modals before, but now we're going to speak about when we are sure about something. Okay? We're almost 100%, like maybe 80%, 90% sure. Okay? So he must have eaten the last slice. He must have eaten the last slice. He must have eaten the last slice. It was very cold yesterday, so he couldn't have been warm wearing shorts. Okay, so here we are predicting. Okay, we are predicting the meaning of something. We're predicting the meaning. Okay, so we don't quite know exactly, but what we're doing is we are assuming from ourselves what is happening. Okay, we are assuming from ourselves what is happening. All right, so we're assuming for ourselves what is going on. Now, let's just take a look here at a video for us, and from there we'll be able to understand a little bit more about speculating models, okay, and we'll be right back.
Hello! I'd like to introduce you to some friends of mine. Brent,
Hello.
Eric,
How you doing?
Steve,
Hello.
and Trevor.
Hi.
A couple of weeks ago, these guys sat down to play some poker and drink some tequila. After a while, Brent got up and excused himself from the game. The other guys waited and waited and waited for him to return, but he never came back. So they started to wonder what could have happened to him. What do you think happened to Brent? He must have fallen asleep somewhere. He could have gone out for some food. Nah, if he'd done that, he would have told us. Now, let's take a minute to focus on how these guys are making guesses about what happened to their friend. Welcome to the grammar presentation. In this video, we're looking at past modals of speculation. Speculation's a fancy word that simply means making guesses. Now, when Brent's friends were making guesses about him, one of them said, he must have fallen asleep somewhere. To make a guess about the past, you need to use a modal verb plus the perfect infinitive. This means that the auxiliary verb have is in the base form and the main verb is in the past participle. Let's look at a few examples. We said, he could have gone out for some food. I could have gone out for some food. You could have gone out for some food. She could have gone out for some food. She could has gone out for... Wait a minute. She could has? No. This is wrong. The verb have, because it's in the base form, never changes to agree with the subject. Moving on. When you're making guesses, you can either guess that something did happen or that it did not happen. Also, you can be very certain, kind of certain, or not very certain at all. If you're very certain that something did happen, say it must have happened. If you're kind of certain, you say it could have happened. And if you're not very certain, say it may have happened or it might have happened. If you're making a guess about something that did not happen, simply make the sentence negative. For example, if you're very certain, say it must not have happened. Here's the only surprising thing here, really. If you say could not have happened, you're actually saying that you're very certain it did not happen. Actually, you're saying it was impossible. So, since could not have happened means you're very certain, how do you say you're kind of certain that something didn't happen? It's very simple. Just say it may not have happened or it might not have happened. Actually, these two modals also mean you're not very certain at all. So, they now cover the entire range of meaning from kind of certain to not very certain. I'm sure you're all wondering what happened to Brent. Now, you may not know this, but if you drink too much tequila, you actually become invisible. That's why his friends couldn't find him. On to the exercises. Complete each sentence below with the modal verb that matches the meaning of the model sentence. For example, I'm absolutely sure that Mika went to the club becomes, she must have gone to the club. Good luck! Here come the answers in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Now, let's take a look at how this grammar can be used in real life. Let me ask you, are you a nice person? Well, then this grammar is for you. You can use these past modals of speculation to show empathy to your friends, using must have plus been or felt and then an adjective describing their feelings. Normally, this is used after someone tells you something that happened to them, and then you guess how they must have felt as a result. For example, I got an A on my assignment. Oh, you must have been so proud. Or, you must have felt so proud. Oh, it was such a difficult class. You must have been so confused. Or, you must have felt so overwhelmed. Well, go out there.
Okay, so now we see how we use speculating past modals, okay? And now we know when we are certain, we say must. When we are kind of sure, we say might, or we say could. And when we're not so sure, we say might or may. Okay? But when we are using the negative, when we say must not have, means we're positive about it. The same goes to that with couldn't, means that means impossible. And then we use may and might for I'm kind of sure and I'm not so sure. Okay? All right, so speculate with more certainty. He must have eaten the last slice. It was very cold yesterday, so he couldn't have been warm wearing shorts. Okay, it was very cold yesterday, so he couldn't have been impossible for him to be warm wearing shorts. All right, less certainty. He might have saved a slice. He might have saved a slice. I'm not sure. Or he could have wore long socks. He could have wore long socks. Okay. Now let's move on and take a look at some exercises. All right. So complete the conversation with the past moment. Okay. A, why isn't the computer screen working? I don't know. It could break. So could have broke. It could have so it could have broke. So it could have broke. Could have broke. All right. Number 2. Why didn't George come to work yesterday? Not sure. He must. Okay, here we use been. Could have been broken. Okay, so we can say it could have been broken. That would be better to say. Okay. Let's see here. There we go. Why didn't George come to work yesterday? Not sure. He must have been sick. He must have been sick. Okay, he must have been sick. Okay, number 3. What's the matter? You forgot something? I could not forget something if I tried. So I could not have, so here we have, I could not have forgotten. I could not have forgotten something if I tried. I could not have forgotten something if I tried. So could not, possible. Okay. Number 4. Is Laura home yet? Not yet. She must delay by traffic. She must have been delayed. Have been delayed. Okay, she must have been delayed by traffic. Okay. Number 5. Is there a reason Sam hasn't answered the phone? Is there a reason Sam hasn't answered the phone? He might leave it on silent. So he might have will never change. So he might have left it on silent. He might have left it on silent. He might have left it on silent. Okay. Now let's move on to our next slide. Okay. Now read the following dialogues. Okay. And then you shoot some questions afterwards. Did you see that documentary on dragons? A documentary on dragons? Yeah, it talked about how they are born, what they eat, even where they live right now. It's doubtful that the documentary was serious. I am pretty sure it was. What's the documentary? How to Train Your Dragon. All right, one more time. Probability and improbability. Probability means that something that's probable. It may happen. It may happen. But improbable means no. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. So, did you see that documentary on dragons? A documentary on dragons? Yeah, it talks about how they are born, what they eat, even where they live now. It's doubtful that the documentary was serious. Doubtful. Improbability, right? I'm pretty sure it was. He's saying it's probability. What's the name of the documentary? How to Train Your Dragon. That's the movie, the cartoon. Okay? All right, here's another example we have. Okay. It's very probable that I've lost all my money. Probable. So it's very probable that I've lost all my money. Why do you say that? I dropped my credit card while walking around Las Vegas. Hank says it's highly unlikely that you've lost it all because of that. I don't know. Lots of people seem money hungry. Don't worry so much. I'll help you look. Okay. So once again, where are the improbabilities and the probabilities? So first we have here where he's saying that it's very probable that I've lost all my money. And then he says here, it's highly unlikely, improbability. It's highly unlikely that you've lost it all because of that. Okay? So highly unlikely. All right, that's another way of showing that something is not possible. Okay, so it's like let's say it's very probable that you can watch a movie without using subtitles. Okay, and it's highly unlikely that you do not understand English till this moment. It's highly unlikely that you do not understand English till this moment. Okay, so something that's probable and something that's improbable. Okay? Okay, so let's go on and continue. And here we have something to read. Okay, so this is called Mysterious Events. The incredible ghost fleet off the coast of Singapore. Okay, the incredible ghost fleet off the coast of Singapore. According to the Daily Mail of Britain, the most enormous and mysterious ghost fleet had showed up off the coast of Singapore. The number of ships was larger than the sum of vessels of both the U.S. and British Navy. However, they didn't find any people or cargo on the ships. Some guess they were left here by bankrupt shipping agencies in the global economic crisis. All right. So here we have, according to the Daily Mail of Britain, the most enormous and mysterious ghost fleet. Okay, a fleet is a group of ships in the sea. This is called a fleet, okay? All right. So they had showed up off the coast of Singapore. The number of ships were larger than the sum of vessels of both the U.S. and the British Navy. But no one was on the ships. Okay? Some guess that they were left by bankrupt. Bankrupt is when companies go broke, have no money. No money means bankrupt. Okay? When bankrupt by shipping agencies in the global economic crisis. Okay, so now let's continue on with our next story. This is another mysterious event. Another mysterious event. Okay? Great-grandmother's ghost in a cell phone's photo. Okay? Now, a great-grandmother. Okay. If you have, let's say, my mother, my mother's mother is my grandmother, and my grandmother's mother is my great-grandmother. Okay? So my grandmother's grandma. That's my great-grandmother. Okay. An American girl accidentally found her great-grandmother's face in the photo she took for her niece with her cell phone in 2009. Her great-grandmother had died in 1990. The photo has been tested to be the original version without any editing. No one can explain how face shows up in this photo. Ghost. That right there is something very mysterious. What happened? How did this happen? It's something very mysterious. Okay, another mysterious event. Okay, so something full of mystery. Astronaut carving on a cathedral built 1,100 years ago. So an astronaut was built on a building over 1,100 years ago. Inside the splendid Lermonis Cathedral built by Episcope de Salamanca in 1102 AD, among the fascinating carvings of mythical animals and saints, we find a NASA astronaut. Maybe they entered some time portal while on the moon and ended up scaring medieval builders in Spain. Or it probably is just a modern addition by the mischievous restoration team. So this right here, they have no idea how this person appeared on the carving. It's something very mysterious. We call this right here something fishy. Okay, something fishy. Something that's, how does that happen? It's weird. Okay? It's very weird.